impact of innovation and technological advancement on economic and business indicators in association with increased demands related to productivity and competitiveness, and innovation imperative has sped up work beyond our capabilities. A very good morning to Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Jaimin Bhuktani, CEO Upler Solutions, Ahmedabad, Honorable Vice Chancellor SBB, Dr. Upinder Dhar, Rector and Dean FDSR SBB, Dr. Santosh Dhar, Joint Registrar SBB, Dr. Arvind Singh, Coordinator Udaan 2023 and Director Corporate Relations and Planning, Shri Mahendra Pratap Singh Pawar, Co-Coordinator Udaan 2023, Dr. Gaurav Srivastava, Head of the Institutes, Head of the Departments, faculty members, and dear students. I feel privileged to welcome you all in Udaan 2023 HR Summit on the theme, Humanizing Workplace in the Digital Era. As part of our tradition, we seek blessings of Ma Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, before beginning any event. I request our technical team to play the video for virtual lamp lighting. Let us now extend a gracious welcome to our chief guest. I request our technical team to facilitate the virtual welcome of our honorable chief guest. Now, I invite Shri Mahendra Pratap Singh Pawar, Director, Corporate Relations and Planning, and Coordinator Udaan 2023 to brief us about the event. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Jaimin Bhuktani, CEO Upler Solutions, Ahmedabad, Honorable Vice Chancellor, SBB, Dr. Upinder Dhar, Rector and Dean, Faculty of Doctoral Studies and Research, Dr. Santosh Dhar, Joint Registrar, Dr. Arvind Singh, Co-Coordinator Udaan 2023, Dr. Gaurav Srivastava, eminent speakers from industry, guests from the corporate world, HOIs, HODs, faculty members, and my dear students. I heartily welcome you all in the 5th HR Summit, Udaan 2023, on humanizing workplace in the digital era. Digital technology is having a profound effect on the 21st century organizations. It is fundamentally changing the way we work, the way we manage, where we work, how we organize, the product we use, and how we communicate. Many fundamental changes are occurring in companies around the world. Organizations are continuously learning how to use new technologies for their benefit, and in the process are uncovering new challenges and opportunities. The technological advances in this new era have affected our ability to manage people, to communicate and collaborate. Work which used to fit relatively neatly into hierarchical organization structure now more closely resemble a web that crosses structures, P&L boundaries, legal entities, cultures, time zones, and languages. Adding complexity, the line across industries are blurred. Project teams are spread across the globe. Responding to rapidly changing threats and opportunities require dynamic allocation of people's time and the organization's resources. Organizing all of these activities is time consuming for most and overwhelming for many. Today, leaders, managers, and other knowledge workers struggle with proliferation, information overload, and attention fragmentation. The pace of communication has increased exponentially. With all this change, some things remain constant. Organizations filled with people still exist to unite around a common purpose, common values, strategic objectives, and getting things done. People remain the most critical asset of most organizations, but are increasingly in the shadow of machines and in a maze of technologies. Individuals are still bound by hours in the day and the mental ability to process information. Work done by computers, smart machines, and people must be coordinated to create maximum value. Organizations still need great leaders, managers, and employees at all levels to get things done in an efficient and effective way. There is tremendous unrealized value from this digital era yet to be claimed in how we manage people and technology and how we communicate and collaborate in the future work environment. Today, we have eminent speakers with us who will share their expertise on the above subject. In this summit, there will be two plenary sessions. In all, there will be 6 speakers who will share their views and knowledge on the road ahead. By the end of the day, I am sure everyone present here will be enriched with the knowledge of humanizing workplace in the digital era. Once again, I welcome you all in Udaan 2023. I am sure this will be a great learning experience for all of us. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now I request the epitome of knowledge and grace, Honorable Vice Chancellor Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, Dr. Upinder Dhar, to deliver the presidential address. Over to you, sir.
Chief guest on this occasion, Mr. Jamin Bhuktani ji, all guests, directors of various constituent institutes, Mr. Pawar, and my dear friends. We have come a long way from the Industrial Revolution when it started with Industry 1.0 or 1.0, then 2.1, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and now we are entering, in fact, we have already entered into Industry 5.0 or 5.0. And at present, we are living in an era of digital transformation. The organizers of our this year's HR Summit, Udaan, have very aptly and appropriately chosen the topic for this year on humanization at workplace or humanizing workplace in the digital era. In Industry 4.0, we have seen consistently, we have been talking about new technologies coming in, technology after technology coming in. But in Industry 5.0, focus is also on humanization. From marketing and sales to product development and beyond, technology is fundamentally changing how today's globally distributed mobile workforces get work done. This is enabling new operational efficiencies, faster product development cycles, greater customer intimacy, and a lot of other big benefits for businesses. The challenges are very much evident. There are so many challenges that we can see. People long regarded as the true source of competitive advantage have struggled to keep up with the rapid pace of digital transformation. It is clear, therefore, that for digital transformation initiatives to be successful, we need to do a better job of ensuring that our workforces are following us. Below are some of the practical ways we have found to make workplaces more human and productive. One, empower digital collaboration and knowledge sharing. Gartner had predicted earlier that by 2020, even before COVID, that by 2020, the greatest source of competitive advantage for 30% of organizations will come from the workforce's ability to creatively exploit digital technology. In a world where individuals increasingly work remotely and teams are frequently spread across multiple continents, a digital collaboration platform is imperative. Features like being able to edit, like, and comment on content simplify collaboration, while creating a social experience that builds transparency and connection across the organizations. Second, make the digital workplace more personal. Digital transformation, like any change, isn't always easy for people to handle. Clinical psychologists have noted the digital disconnect that can result when human interactions are replaced by technological ones. Without the right tools in place, employees can struggle to effectively communicate with each other and become disengaged from the organization. Fortunately, there are a couple of steps one can take to prevent people from getting lost between the ones and O's, ones and zeros. The first is to realize that in a digital workplace, employees frequently meet their colleagues for the first time online. This means that having good, complete user profiles is critical to enabling the employees to find and connect their colleagues or connect with their colleagues. By using an app, we are able to synchronize profiles and pictures with active directories. This ensures that profiles are always up to date. Plus, we get the power to enhance profiles with custom fields like location, skills and expertise, and more. making it easier for users to find the expertise they are looking for. Digital collaboration starts with people. It ends there too. That is why it pays to invest in the tools we need to put people at the center of the stage. Number 3, making collaboration more fun and rewarding. Digital collaboration does not have to be so much work. Today, gamification apps are available that let you integrate game mechanics into your workplace to motivate employee participation, engagement, and collaboration. Now, we can award points and badges for a range of activities, posting or editing content, commenting on or liking pages, completing user profiles, etc. This can be a real game changer. Suddenly, instead of having to chase down people to use the workplace, that everything could not be done from one place. We will be able to now sit back and watch as they compete with each other to climb up leaderboards and win digital prestige among their peers. Our customers have used many gamification organizations claim that the customers have used very effectively to their games, very effectively to drive user adoption at the launch of the various products. And of course, it's a great way to keep employees engaged in digital workplace on an ongoing basis. Fourth point is customize the user interface for your organization. Most collaboration platforms have sleek, modern user interfaces, but none of these platforms were built for the way your people in the organization work. This can increase the friction that employees experience when transitioning to digital systems and overflows. Collaboration experts understand the importance of creating great user experiences through simpler navigation, consistent site structures, and helpful features like custom menus, favorites, and personalized dashboards. Some companies provide several apps that enable us to customize user interface to create a great user experience and empower people to work together better. Fifth point is eliminate digital silos. Deloitte had submitted a report a few years back, which said that 72% of employees say that they cannot find the information they need in their company's information systems. Part of the problem, as was widely noted, is that intranets particularly, intranets and other systems were not built for the way employees work. The other big challenge is that different teams may rely upon different collaboration systems. It is not unusual for the customers to have both Confluence as one of the platforms and SharePoint as another installations in their organizations. On their own, each of these platforms can be powerful tools, but when they are used together, they can result in a sprawling chasm between teams and lead to all kinds of headaches and inefficiencies. Fortunately, integration apps are available to bridge the gap between various other apps which are being used widely, like say I mentioned about SharePoint and Confluence, as well as other systems. And integration is much easier and less risky than a whole-scale integration, whole-scale migration. Plus, it saves our teams from wasting valuable time searching for information or duplicating efforts, enabling them to improve overall business productivity. Last, that is sixth point that I wanted to share. I'll be sharing 7 points. Out of that, this is the 6th point which I want to share, that is create a barrier-free workplace. So if we ask a question, that is your digital workplace as accessible as your physical workplace? Many organizations aren't aware of the rising tide of digital accessibility lawsuits. The number of civil lawsuits brought against companies whose websites are not accessible by the visually impaired increased 7-fold. If we see the records, the previous reports, it increased 7-fold from 2015 to 2017. While most of these were brought by consumers against businesses with online storefronts, this trend highlights the importance of addressing accessibility in the digital workplace. Accessibility is very important. Only having gadgets is not enough. Only having facilities is not enough. Accessibility is very important. Arguably, employees have just as much, if not greater, claim to equal access to the tools they need to do their jobs. Fortunately, this is easy with apps like accessibility for Confluence. This is one of the examples, which includes support for screen readers, high contrast mode, and keyboard navigation. It gives you a simple way to build a barrier-free digital workplace. Lastly, engage with your employees. Last but certainly not least, routinely solicit feedback from the users and engage them in optimizing the digital systems and workflows to work the way they need to work. User surveys are a good start, but it is also important to get out of the office and have good old-fashioned conversations with the users. So this feedback is very important, and we need to get up from the seats and see, look for the feedback. It's a great way to show that you are not just some evil genius sitting in a dark room planning how to make their lives more difficult. It also gives you a deeper understanding of their pain points, motivations, and aspirations, so that you can create the kind of digital workplace in which everyone can excel as humans and as teams. So I feel that, well, the topic for today's summit is very apt and very appropriate. And by the evening, that by the end of this summit, we'll have better information that what is happening across the world, what changes are taking place with this Industry 5.0 or 5.0. What are the new developments which are happening? How are we getting connected? Because as we realize that the basic difference between Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0 is humanization, the human element, more importance to the feedback of the users. That is more important in Industry 5.0. So I once again would like to welcome Mr. Jamin Bhuptani to this summit, and I'm sure that all of us are very eager to listen to him and enrich our understanding about the humanization aspect at workplace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your deep knowledge with us. Your address was indeed full of enthusiasm and valuable knowledge. We are honored to have with us Mr. Jamin Bhuptani, CEO, Upler Solutions, Ahmedabad, as chief guest. Before I invite him for the address, let us know about his professional journey. Mr. Jamin Bhuptani is an MBA from SP Jain Institute of Management and Research, Mumbai. He's also an MCA from Dhan Singh Desai University, Nadiyad, Gujarat. He has over 20 years of rich experience in industry. As CEO of Uplers, his focus is towards leading the digital ecosystem of the business. With a dire passion for adopting new market trends, exploring new opportunities, and scaling up businesses to unprecedented heights, he constantly evolves himself and adapt to new upcoming practices to stay ahead of the curve. We once again welcome you, sir, and now invite you to share your knowledge and experience with us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rupa. Good morning, respected teachers. Namaste, VC sir, and hello to students. First of all, very grateful to Director Shri Mahendra Pratap Singh Pawar and his son Aditya, who works with us, to invite me for this amazing event. Interestingly, when I was waiting, for event to start, when I looked at my Zoom screen, 15 out of 25 people I was able to see, has a doctorate degree. So I think being amongst so many doctors is so humble, and super excited to be here. And always excited to speak with India's young minds, individuals who are going to shape our India tomorrow. And this is very interesting, Industry 5.0. And when, I was listening to you, I think I realized that, hey, many of the things which you mentioned, we are doing, we are trying to done, or even in some areas, we are lacking at Uplers. But so true that, it's Industry 5.0 era. And, it's about humanizing workplace. So business, according to me, is run by people, not by technology. And that's where we need a very strong collaboration between technology and people. Even if you look at, very high-tech companies whose core strength is technology, but at the end of the day, those tools and tech is built by people. So, I see more and more, importance of amazing mind and people in technical world, because at the end of the day, the purpose of technology is to make human life better, and that technology cannot be built without humans. So, super excited for tech field, which has immensely helped human life to evolve and get better at every stage and achieve impossible. If you look at today, right, this event is virtual. हमारा वो दिया जलाना वो भी virtual था. Now, who would have imagined probably 10 years before कि ऐसे भी world function हो सकता है, right? So super excited about what is coming on our way, how the life would be evolved. Sometimes, we get so engrossed with technology that we miss to address the human spirit. And good to see that today's topic is about, human workplace and technology. कई बार ऐसा भी होता है sometimes that, when we think too much about technology, that also brings that fear and uncertainty, right? Which we are hearing a lot these days, that, there is a negative impact of technology on human life. For example, the new age technology which is coming is going to take a lot of jobs. So a lot of uncertainty when, the fields are unknown. And, among this, prestigious, professors. I'm going to share a little bit what I know, my thoughts about the same. Right? Probably my experience is not as vast as many of the people here, but I'll try to share, whatever I have learned in last 15, 20 years. Uh, so yeah, in 2017, a little bit about me to start with, to set the context. In 2007, I started my first company in Dubai. But while I was going out of India, I was very clear that, hey, I want to come back to India and spend my majority of the professional life here and contribute to India's growth story. As an individual, I'm very strong believer in India's growth journey and what is coming to us in next 1 decade in terms of unlimited opportunities this country has to offer. And I'm trying to do my bit in terms of creating those, growth opportunities for India, within India, with my capacity. So I came back to India in 2012 and started Applers. Today, Applers is 1,100 people team, and we have 2 business units. The first business unit is our service business, through which we help global companies like Facebook, Amazon, Disney, and more with our digital transformation, automation, and digital marketing services. And the other unit I'm super excited about is a talent platform where we place Indian talents straight in global companies, especially in remote environment. So if I see how the world has changed in last 2 years post-pandemic, probably remote was possible before that, but we were not embracing, that change. And pandemic pushed all of us to adapt it. And now we see a world where there are no boundaries and borders. So, today and even in future, world is going to face a very strong shortage of tech and digital skill sets. And at Applers, we see that India is a solution with its massive tech and digital workforce to solve that challenge for the world. So we are excited about creating those opportunities for Indian talent through our platform, and at the same time helping global companies expand their teams in India. It's a win-win situation. For them, they can tap into the Indian talent ecosystem, and in turn, we create a lot of external opportunities for India, which is not net zero for the country. So as Sarju rightly said, technology is helping us collaborate very effectively without any geographical boundaries. We don't need to be in the same physical environment to get the work done. And we are seeing many companies and clients from UK, US, South Africa, and other countries are leveraging that to hire people in India, which is great opportunity for us. Even if I talk about Applers, we are a fully remote company. So we went to remote by force due to COVID. Though we had that remote mindset even before COVID, and we were trying that. But then COVID pushed all of us to completely adopt remote, and we sensed that, hey, it is working for us, and we decided that let's not go back to that old world, and let's stay remote first company. It means our employees can decide whether they want to work from their home, beaches of Goa, mountains of Manali, or they want to come and work from our office. So all the 1,100 members today are working from different part of India, starting from Kashmir to Manipur to Pondicherry, and we have teams spread across India. And yeah, again, if we wouldn't have the right technology stack in place, this wouldn't have been possible. So that's where the strong collaboration of technology and human comes. So we explored many tools, invested a lot in technology during those early times, and we realized that, hey, this technology is going to help us continue our remote workforce and workplace. And we were, this remote was bringing a lot of advantages, right, to our people. Freedom to work from anywhere. Many people want to work from their homes, staying with their families. Many people want to explore India, and they want to stay at multiple places. And many people have their small kids, and they want to see them growing rather than spending 13 hours including commute in office. So there were many advantages it was bringing. And for company also, we also saw a great opportunity that, hey, now Uplers being an Ahmedabad based company, now as a company we can hire amazing people from across the India. So it was win-win situation for us. And but yeah, without a right tech stack or where technology is today in terms of cloud infrastructure, in terms of internet penetration, we wouldn't have been able to leverage this. So as you rightly said, as a company, remote comes with its own benefits and its own pitfalls. The benefits I mentioned. The biggest pitfall of remote work environment is connect between humans, because at the end of the day, again, we all are humans sitting behind the screen, but as a human we want to connect, we want to emotionally attach with other members, with where the company is heading. I, as a human, I have my goals and I want to see whether my goals are aligned with company's goals or not. So the biggest pitfall we saw is that emotional connect within people and human beings, and that's where actually we started investing in a lot of technology and tools which help us collaborate better. But then technology can help us collaborate. It's very difficult for technology to help us emotionally connect, right? So to solve that challenge, again, because we decided we want to stay open as a remote company. For many companies, remote didn't work, and now they are calling their people back to office. For us, I think we made that very clear decision and made it public. I think it also came in newspaper back in August 2020. That, hey, Applers is going to be a remote company. And why we did that? Because at times if you make your goals public, your mind gets clear, and then you don't look for any other alternatives. So that really helped us, and we started looking at various uh, alternate solutions to establish that human emotional connect. Uh, Apart from those regular Zoom catch-ups, Happy Fridays, and upstarts to encourage those people who are going extra mile and all those standard things, we did one very interesting. We took one very interesting initiative, and that really helped us connect our people with each other emotionally, and that is that we started arranging vacations for our people. Now the whole objective was that how to create an environment and opportunity for people to connect in person. And there the objective is not to work together. We are able to work very effectively on Zoom or in remote. The challenge we were trying to solve is how to connect people with those emotions and those vacations. So vacations is something for us where we book a property once a year in any interesting location of India. Like last year it was in Goa. This year we have decided Rishikesh, where all our 1100 people go there, stay there for a week, day and night, work a little bit together, but majority of the focus is to connect, have those fun, understand each other. Because when they stay 24/7, for 7 days, 24 hours, I think a different level of bond comes into picture, and that really helped us. Though it was a very massive project for us to accommodate or manage all the operations and accommodations and transformation for so many people, but we took that chance because we didn't see any other way to keep that human in focus while we are a tech company, and that really worked well for us. And that now team cherish those moments. This year again, we are planning for Rishikesh, and in this technology world, again, that human focus, human connect is equally important. And that's where I brought this innovation we did. Now, these days, apart from remote, I think we are also hearing a lot about artificial intelligence, machine learning, NLP, and the current trend of the town is Chat GPT. Now, these tools are also to change human lives. As I mentioned, I firmly believe that the purpose of the technology is to make human life better, right? And even these tools are into that direction. Like, for example, as a marketing organization or a tech organization, we see a lot of use cases of AI and ChatGPT, which may help our team produce better content, produce faster content, build better designs, and there are many more. And we are embracing the change and look at what benefits it is going to bring us. And I'm super excited about what technology is going to bring to us in coming decade. It is going to take away a lot of monotonous tasks which a technology can do. And the beauty is it would free up human potential to do a high value task. That's the biggest benefit I see of all these automation, AI, ML, innovations. However, as you also mentioned, as humans, we are typically, we always have that fear of change. So, there are a lot of talks going on, AI, ML would eat up a lot of jobs. And unfortunately, yes, they will eat up a lot of monotonous jobs. But, if you look at history, humans have always evolved to the next level, and these technologies will also push us to bring better, to explore our next potential. You also mentioned about industry revolution, and I think when I read the history and whatever little I know about history, when the industry revolution started, at that time also there was this fear of losing the job, isn't it? That factories would be replaced by machines, and what workers would do. I visited Amul Milk's plant, last year, and I was surprised to see that their entire chocolate manufacturing unit was run just by 4 people, where earlier, they had around 450, 500 people, and now those machines and technologies come, and 4 people are able to produce their entire need of chocolates. So did the fear about industry revolution to eat up the jobs, did it eat up those jobs? I think the answer is yes, it did. But that also forced mankind to build our capabilities in other areas. So today, for example, we have much better skills in computer science and many other advanced areas. And if we imagine कि अगर वो इंडस्ट्री रिवोल्यूशन नहीं आया होता और मशीन्स ने वो फैक्ट्री वर्कर्स की जॉब नहीं ली होती, तो शायद हम में से काफी लोग आज फैक्ट्रीज में काम करते होते, rather than being a computer engineer and looking at and working on those forward, futuristic technology. And if you think, probably many of the evolutions wouldn't have come. A big evolution after industrial is internet revolution. That wouldn't have come if people didn't have enough bandwidth to work on computer science and technology, and if they would have been busy in factories, producing products. So technology helped us, up our game and save our time through monotonous jobs, and it is helping us to invest that time into high value jobs. And I'm super excited, that evolution which has come so far, industry, internet, and what is coming now, which is industry 5.0. Because if we see last 20 years, the industry revolution, which we generally call industry 4.0, what changes it has brought, right? As I mentioned, this event on Zoom wouldn't have been possible if that revolution wouldn't have come. Many examples, right? So today we can order any product in India, or for that matter from anywhere in the world, using Amazons and Flipkarts of the world. Again, thanks to that revolution 4.0. We order our meals on Zomatos and Swiggies without putting a step aside our home. We order movie tickets on Book My Show, and if I remember my earlier days, I used to stand in line in front of a theater and many times buying tickets in black. Ola and Uber, deliver ride at our home. वो दिन भी थे जब दोपहर को 3 बजे धूप में ऑटो नहीं मिलती थी. And I think that's the change this revolution has brought to us. Many of us may not know where our bank branch is because we don't need to go to a bank. All our transactions happen through e-banking online, right? And if I say a company like Uplers wouldn't exist without this revolution from our business direction point of view, and we wouldn't have been a remote company today agar wo revolution nahi aata to. So that's the revolution. And it is all about seeing what are the opportunities with that revolution, what are the positive sides, and get best out of it. That's what the job of human is. And at the same time, bigger revolution is on the way through, as I mentioned, technologies like AI, ML, NLP, and more. So again, all the students we have here, right, also super excited, for where they are entering in their professional life, right? I believe the students here would enter into the Indian workforce in near future. I believe anywhere between 2 to 3 to 4, 5 years. And this new age of internet, cloud, AI, ML is waiting for them with their both hands open. Very exciting time, especially for this age group, with the kind of tech support we have today, the environment we have today, and the kind of opportunities we have in India. Right, super excited about Indian growth story. As I mentioned, India has been the fastest growing company in the world. Today, if we see all the 3 pillars of India, whether we call it social, economical, or political, we are very strong in all those 3 areas. We are the youngest country in the world, and we are going to retain that position at least till 2070. So super excited times to take, for the students, your first stepping stone towards your professional career. And be excited to be part of India's next revolution. That's what I have in plate for the students. Amazing times, guys. Be bold, build up amazing skills, and embrace with world with full confidence. जब इरादा बना ही लिया है ऊंची उड़ान का, तो ये फिजूल का आसमान देखने का मतलब नहीं है. Right? Just go on, go with full confidence, and wish you all the best for your next Udaan. Super. And thanks a ton to all the professors, VC sir, director sir, for inviting me today and share my little knowledge and stories with the troop.
Sir, you rightly said that business is run by people and not technology. Definitely, technology can help us to collaborate, make our life much better, but it cannot provide us emotional support. Indeed, the human connect is very, very important. Thank you, sir, for your enriching address. It will really be a great pleasure for us to listen to you in the future events also. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Pleasure is mine.
Now I request co-coordinator Udaan 2023, Dr. Gaurav Srivastava, to propose words of thanks.
Thank you, Rupa ma'am. On behalf of Shri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, I express my sincere gratitude to respected Dr. Upinder Dhar, Vice Chancellor SWV, who conceptualized the idea of HR Summit and his intellectual contribution, which has always added new shades of knowledge and insights to the HR Summit. I also express my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Mr. Jaimin Bhutani, CEO of Risk Solutions Ahmedabad, for sparing his precious time and his value addition in the HR Summit. Thank you once again, sir. Let me also thank Mr. Mahendra Pratap Singh Pawar, sir, Director Corporate Relations and Placements and Coordinator for Udaan, for his leadership, guidance, and support. I also thank all the corporate guests, directors, deans, HODs and HOIs, faculties and staff members for their presence. Also, I express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Rupa Shinde ma'am for the smooth conduction of the inaugural ceremony. Along with that, my sincere thanks to the technical team and the HR Summit team for their inimitable support, and also to dear students for their presence. Thanks to all of you once again.
With this, we come to the end of inaugural session. I request the technical team to play the AV for national anthem. I request everyone to rise.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you all. Now we are entering in the first plenary session of today's event. I request Dr. Shilpa Fadnis to proceed with the session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bhuptani.
Pleasure is mine, sir. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We'll meet soon.
Sir, I'll take your leave. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Shilpa ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, all. On behalf of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, I, Dr. Shilpa Fadnis, feel privileged to welcome you all to the plenary session 1 of Udaan 2023 Fifth HR Summit on the theme Humanizing Workplace in the Digital Era. Today, we are fortunate to have resource persons Ms. Shilpi Singh, Mr. Gautam Tungare, and Ms. Monika Sharma. The session chair of the session is Dr. Santosh Dhar, and co-session chair is Dr. Namit Gupta. I extend a warm welcome to all the dignitaries in this plenary session. Before session begins, it's my pleasure to introduce our resource persons, chairperson and co-session chair to the August gathering. Our first resource person is Ms. Shilpi Singh, Head Project Management and Technology Transfer, Piramal Pharma Solution. With 15 years of experience as pharma industry professional, she has worked in an array of different areas, including regulatory affairs, quality assurance, audit handling, and project program management. Currently holding the position as Head Project Management of PTP site, supporting a Lexington site US and Malat side of Piramal Pharma Solution. Ms. Singh is certified in Green Belt, Six Sigma, and PMP. She has certification in CGMP, GMP, and regulatory affairs in IIMP. She has received many awards, namely Best Global BIP Award from Chairman, Business Impact Project Award, selected Global Women Achievers Award, selected as Top 20 Ascent Entrepreneur in Piramal Group, Chairman Award, Award for Champion for Change, etc. Over the years, she has learned a great deal about ins and outs of the CMO business and succeed in all her roles. I once again welcome you, ma'am. Our second resource person is Mr. Gautam Tungare, Head HR, 6th Degree IT, Indore. An ambitious, proactive, result-oriented professional with more than 14 years of extensive experience in human resource management, with track record in generating, implementing ideas and procedures that significantly improve relationship, productivity, and profitability in the organizations. He is an experienced leader with a demonstrated history of working in the IT sector and manufacturing industry. Mr. Tungare is skilled in technical, non-technical recruiting, campus hiring, HR policies, screening, management information systems, human resource management, employee engagement, employee life cycle, manpower planning, selection, training and development, grievance handling, compensation and benefits, employee relations, performances appraisal, formulation of strategies and policies, and statutory compliance, etc. I welcome again you, sir. Our third resource person is Ms. Monica Sharma, Head HR, Built Formula, Ahmedabad. She is an experienced and self-motivated human resources professional with 11 years of industry experience administrating policies and procedures in the human resources department of a fast-moving technology company, adept in implementing programs and changes that enhance company position and lead to success, bringing forth a proven track record of successfully managing human resource efforts and serving as a crucial pillar of support for HR teams and employees. She has certifications like Employee Engagement, Management Coaching Certificate, How to be Successful, Create a Growth Mindset for Success, How to be Hyper-Productive when Working from Home, Workforce Analytics for HR. These are certified courses from Udemy. I once again welcome you, ma'am. Now, I'm introducing our session chair of the session. Dr. Santosh Dhar is National Council member, ISTD, Rector and Dean, FDSR, SVVV. She has been engaged in teaching, research, corporate training, and consultancy for last 42 years. She has widely published her works and has more than 400 publications to her credit. Dr. Dhar has presented papers in several national and international conferences and seminars, nationally and internationally. Her earlier assignments have been as professor at Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, Indore, MIT Business School, MIT University, J.K. Lakshmipat University, Jaipuria Institute of Management, Jaipur. Many research scholars have been awarded PhD degree under her supervision. Now, let me introduce our co-chair of the session, Dr. Namit Gupta. He is Dean, Faculty of Engineering and Architecture, Director, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Technology and Science, and Professor, Electronics and Communication, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, Indore. He has an experience of more than 26 years. His areas of research are quantum computing, embedded system, spintronics, 5G communication system, etc. He has been awarded 1 patent in his name. 2 candidates have been awarded and 7 scholars are pursuing PhD under his supervision. He has published and presented more than 50 research papers in journals and conferences of national and international repute. Now, I would like to hand over the session to our session chair, Dr. Santosh Dhar. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shilpa. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Upinder Dhar, esteemed resource persons of the panel of this plenary session, Mr. Shilpi Singh, Mr. Gautam Tungare, Ms. Monica Sharma, my co-chairperson, Dr. Namit Gupta, all HOIs, HODs, and their students, a warm welcome to the first plenary session of Udaan HR Summit, Humanizing Workplace in the Digital Era. Humanizing your workplace starts with acknowledging the people you work with and do business with. It means taking every opportunity to recognize and praise those who contribute on a daily basis for their efforts and achievements. The workforce play today is different from the workforce before the pandemic. People use the time to reassess the where, how, and why of work and life to be able to blend both personal and professional responsibilities in more manageable ways. For organizations and leaders, this is also a unique opportunity to rethink their leadership style and reset business strategy in the light of emerging new normal and the uncertainty. In fact, forward-thinking organizations have recalibrated their work and people management strategies in sync with the evolving needs of the new workforce. They have realized that having workplaces that are made for people and having resilient businesses will enable them to grow, develop, and stay competitive. One of the key elements that the new way of working factors in is flexibility, which workers today value most in considering job offers and staying in their current jobs. After all, if flexibility, that is the hybrid mode of work provides, makes employees happier, more committed to their employer, and perform better, it certainly should be of paramount importance to corporations. Several studies have shown that employees who have the flexibility to work both at work and from home are more productive and engaged than those who work entirely from the office or fully remotely. One cannot provide flexibility in isolation, but rather based on set of metrics. Much of it has been brought to the fore by 2 years of disruption, including diversity, equity, well-being, and the sense of purpose. In order for employees to have a sense of belonging, it calls for an environment where they can express their true selves. In addition to increasing employee motivation, wellness, and job happiness, authentic self-expression is both vital for both employees and their employers. Leaders need to define the new table stakes of people management as people look for more than their employees than just compensation. This goes well beyond compensation and includes priorities like resource accessibility, career development opportunities, and above all, inspiring leaders. The future of work is going to revolve around employees. The first and the foremost priority for a leader should be to restructure the goals and the objectives and the way we define the mission statement of the company. The pandemic has clearly accelerated development in automation, robotics, and artificial intelligence, which are now being exploited by companies to keep employees connected, safe, and productive. Post-pandemic companies are looking to technology to move to the next level, not just to add to the technology stack as they prepare for a hybrid work environment. Employers and employees alike are looking for emerging technology to transform and optimize the work experience. Nevertheless, studies show that employees are putting more time at work using multiple tech touch points, which is adding to the burnout crisis. the continued acceleration of digital adoption, the need to scale the digitized function like communication, HR processes, and IT systems to ensure business continuity has caused employees to constantly switch to new and improved versions of applications and digital tools, adding to their woes. As a tech company, multiple tools are used, but they need to define the outcomes before they deploy it. There has to be the right measurables to track the progress. And when one needs to deploy technology with the pillars of employee wellness, physical, mental, social, financial, therefore, there has to be a strategy that considers that your people rather than your tech stacks can make all your investment in work tech seem disputable. The ultimate goal is to enable employees to deliver their best at work. Today, we have practitioners with us. Let us hear from them. What do they do to humanize the workplace? May I call upon our first speaker, Ms. Shilpi Singh, to share her views on the topic with us. I would request all the panelists to stick to the time. Actually, 30 minutes have been given to each panelist. So please carry on, Ms. Shilpa Singh.
Shilpi ma'am. I think she has just.
She's not there.
She's there.
So,
Yes.
yeah, hi.
Hi, ma'am.
Sorry, I went outside for some of colleague. I'm in office only, sorry. So, hi, good morning, good afternoon, namaste, pranam to all
Namaste,
future leaders. Warm good afternoon to Dr. Rupinder Dhar sir, Dr. Santosh sir ma'am, each and everyone from Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya. So, thank you so much for your invitation. And it's a great privilege to be the speaker, which is a very good topic. I can say it's the best topic that team has selected in today's scenario. So let us talk about that. I want the session to be more interactive in terms like only I'm going to talk about. Can you see my screen? Let me present my screen. Let me present my screen here. Share.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I was in Vaishnav Institute of Management earlier. So I thought instead of putting some of the thought, make it something pictorial so that the student can understand like what is my message to everyone. So if you will see here, this is topic humanizing workplace in digital era. So you can see a different life and happy life. By seeing the pictorial, you can understand what I want to talk about. Okay, unhumanize to humanize. It's very simple. Let's move to next slide. First of all, let me talk about some of the side effects of the digital era, what we are having. For the picture, if I'll ask anybody to say, what does it mean? It means a lot of stress. It means a lot of frustration. It means a lot of work pressure that this employee is having. Second pictorial depicts that a person, everyone can see, is having mobile, is having laptop together, having breakfast, having tea in front of him. He is not been able to take. Okay. The third and fourth pictorial is also showing the same thing. So in nutshell, digital era, although it is good, but it carries a lot of problems in our life. We are not staying connected with each other. होता है ना कि पांच भूखे भी दूर हैं, ऐसी स्थिति आ गई है. एक घर में 3 लोग हैं and both all of them are basically, some are attending meeting through Zoom, some are basically using the mobile. So a father, mother, daughter, a father, mother and son, they're not staying connected. Boss and employee, they're not staying connected. So that's the digital era. While moving to next part, which is the COVID pandemic. Everyone is very much aware. When COVID came, so completely we lost our connection in the COVID era. You can see everything virtual. And when everything virtual, the important part which came in our life is the mental strength. We used to take a lot of medication, like I'm talking for the people, most of the people, they are getting affected by the mental illness. A lot of psychologists, a lot of mental doctors, they are saying that the earlier one and during the COVID era, a lot of things are increased. Depression, mental illness, heart disease, a lot of things that has happened in the COVID era. Let me show first pictorial, then we'll talk about. While we are talking for humanizing the workplace, so this is very important to recognize the people that you are working with, to talk about the people that who they are. This is not only okay, I'm on the call, I have to talk virtually, and now everything is fine. It's very important to, like any employee is doing some of the good work, so say something, a thank you note, do something good for them. So that's the most important part. While moving to next part, as ma'am Santosh ma'am also said, just take opportunity and praise to the employee for their contribution, their efforts, and their achievements. While talking for corporate life, we are very busy in day-to-day activity. What happened? For humanizing the workplace, we have to start. Even Piramal has even started. Most of the company has started R&R session, reward and recognition session. We are on quarterly basis, we are having a session in which there are three kinds of award: a star award, pat the back award, the most I can say most achiever employee of the month award. So such kind of things, award kind of thing, if we are starting for the employee, they are also getting connected, and the productivity of the employee, if we can see the survey, so the productivity of that employee is more than the other employee, those who are not getting the reward. It is very important to recognize the people. Please remember, everyone is a person first and working person second. हमें ये सोचना है कि एक अच्छा पर्सन होना ज्यादा जरूरी है बीइंग कि एक अच्छा एम्प्लॉय होना. ओके, अगर अच्छा पर्सन होंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली यू विल बी द गुड एम्प्लॉय एज वेल. While moving to next part, again you can see the pictorial. There are various activities like team building, a kind of fun activity, a kind of activity like if you are taking employee out, if you are having some of the picnic session, if you are doing something for the employee by which employee is getting connected. There are other activities also at the workplace. Although we know there's a lot of digitalization right now, we are using MS Team, Zoom, we are using artificial intelligence, a lot of automation in all track wise, a lot of automation while manufacturing the drug in the market, while sending the drug to sterilization, aggregation, a lot of automation that we are having. So after seeing everything, this is not only that only we are basically facing a mental issue, we are also feeling that we are not getting valued. We are also having a lot of stress, a lot of things that, okay, I will lose my job because a lot of automation came. People, companies not thinking about me. मैंने तो इतना साल से काम किया था, आज ये automation आ गया, आज इस company में आ गया, तो I will lose the job. Such kind of things are happening in people's mind. So in that case, if we are staying connected virtually and a lot of automation came, so in that case, you can use the user profile, you can use the certain things by which the employee, like the photographs, if you can see the pictorial, you can make the people photograph, you can make certain good part of them, you want to recognize them, so that will happen, and that will also create a good part of employee to like move on and to do the good job. Other part which will come like to have a collaboration, to have a fun activity. These days, there is an app known as gamification app where there's a lot of things which is good for the employee engagement, employee participation, and collaboration. So it is important for the corporate, for the institute to have such kind of things by which you can make a more collaborative work and more your employee can be more engaged. Certain times it happen like the employee, those are basically challenged that they cannot hear or they have certain challenge thing in the life. In that case, there is also various tools which is available nowadays, where you can see more engagement of the employee, where you can do good thing for the employee. I want to share certain examples of the COVID time where, for my personal life even as well, while the COVID time was there was a lot of things which was basically there in the mind that okay, how the things will happen. uh, Now either I will lose the job from the company, what is going to be happen. In that case, when I got admitted in the hospital, so many people of my company, they have started creating a bond, a kind of thing. They are calling to the hospital, they're asking how am I, they are providing food to me, they are providing tea to me, they're providing various things to me, by which I was mentally feel connected. And when I came out from the hospital, I was having feeling okay. Although there is a lot of meeting that I did virtually, a lot of things when I was feeling that I was not being valued, but when I was in problem, the people, I was being taken care by the people. So that's the most important part of the life. That if you are recognizing, if you are taking care of people, either in the bad life or either if something would be there personally for that people, if you are having certain scheme, so that would be the most important part. Few mantras just I want to share. The intention is more important than ability. Always we have to start to give fully to the people. It's not only that if we are in digital era, we have to take something, we have to utilize our manpower to be more productive. It is just that we have to give reward, we have to also recognize their efforts. We have to think that the people are more important than the organization. If we are valued, if we are doing value to the people, our organization will be valued in the longer run. So this is very important to take care of our employee and to engage various activities in the digital era so that our employee will feel more connected and the productivity will be more increased. So that's the thing from my part. Only few part from my side to share. If you have any question, any suggestion, please do let me know. Oh, I should. Yeah, thank you so much. Students, anyone please, if you have any question, please do let me know.
I think we can take the questions in the chat box if there are any, so that it can be answered. Shilpa ma'am?
Ask question, it is always good to ask question. तभी लगता है
Yeah,
कि अच्छा कुछ
definitely.
तो अपन ने समझा है. Yes, I can see. Okay, whatever I talked about, everything is good with you. Any
Shilpa
question,
ma'am?
anyone?
There's no question, sir.
Okay. So
Question
everyone
was
understood very well how we are going to utilize workplace in the digital era. Let's do happy life. So first slide, I think, talks everything. So no question.
There is one
Thank you.
question, ma'am.
Yeah,
There is
yeah,
one question, Shilpa ma'am, in the chat
yeah.
box, I
yes,
suppose.
sir. It's for sir.
Can you please
Acha.
read that question?
Chat GPT make developer lazy after using Chat GPT. We get everything easily and we not have to remember anything as compared to Google. We search in different ways and remember things by visiting different websites. Next question is that we shift from AI and MI.
So they are saying that Chat GPT is making them more and more lazy.
More and more lazy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
so that depends on how we are using. See, there are always two ways of anything, positive and negative. If we are using the thing in a positive way, so we can take in a positive way. We have to see always positive part. For example, if I'm seeing for a particular human being, उसके एक positive और negative aspects होते हैं, तो हमको किसको लेना है, उसको कैसे utilize करना है, आप लेते feel करते हो. देखिए, everything जो होता है ना, people के mindset पे depend करता है. Everything will depend upon the mindset of the people, that how we are thinking and our thought process making ourselves good or bad. तो उसको अगर आपने अच्छा लिया एआई को, ओके, तो अच्छा गया, अगर आपने नेगेटिव लिया तो नेगेटिव गया. सो ऑल्दो इट इज मेक यू लेजर, बट हाउ you can utilize them in a positive way that can make you better. So that's my takeaway.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Any other
Shilpa ma'am,
question?
can we
Yeah.
proceed?
Yes, sir.
Next speaker. We have Gautam Tungre as our next speaker.
Ma'am, I need to share the screen. So
Okay. Yeah.
Now you can share, sir.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is visible.
Yes, sir.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'd first of all take this opportunity to thank Shri Vaishnav Peeth Vishwavidyalaya, the organizers of this Udaan 2023 fifth HR Summit, and inviting me here today as as a guest speaker. It's an honor and a privilege to have the opportunity to address such a distinguished audience along with the co-guest speakers. So as you see on the screen, the topic for today is humanizing workplace in the digital era. So like to begin with, according to me as an HR head of 6 Degrees IT, or rather as an HR head, our motto was very clear. It is very simple. Like an employee needs to feel like a human being first and not an object, as we are hiring a human resource and not an object. That is how we simplify the thing. So humanizing the digital, like humanizing the workplace in digital era is very, very important, because since we come from the IT industry, so we are all involved into all the various digital mediums through which we work on daily basis. So if I may start with, so the three postulates, like basically are, just a second, I'll just change the view of my screen. Yeah. So the three postulates for humanizing workplace, according to us, is the value of business is a function of how well the financial capital, the intellectual capital are managed by human capital. You'd better get the human capital part right, because that is the foremost and most important thing that we feel. To win the marketplace, you must first win the workplace. And for that, to win the workplace, the humans have to be taken care across and given the utmost priority. Then accordingly, as you know, a good IQ, a good IQ makes you a good boss, but a good EQ, HQ, and SQ makes you a good leader. So that is the most important part of our motto of humanizing workplace, because 90% of the problems in this industries are because of the inflated eye. And that is how we believe, that is how things are happening. So what is humanizing workplace? This is a question that I need to ask everybody, and rather, this is the question that I'll answer today. According to 6 Degrees IT, or rather, if I may say so, an isolated approach to humanize workplace in digital era will surely fail. So to digitalize the workplace, or rather, humanizing the digital workplace is about humanizing the workplace first, is about humanizing the work, creating the right conditions in which we can hold our full human potential, because that is the most important thing. That is what we are all talking about. Humanizing the workplace will not happen unless we treat the employees as humans first. So I think so that is very, very important. And to move ahead further, if I may say so, the six main challenges the companies face in digital era nowadays, or rather they have been facing, are understandings and needs to change. So change management is very, very important. Do I need to stop, or like Santosh?
No, ma'am, your mic is on. Dhar ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry. So the six main challenges that companies face in digital era are: one, they have to understand the need to change. Change is the epitome of everything, because if you do not, or rather, if you are not eager to change, then nothing can exist, because change is the ultimate factor that has to be taken care across. cultural mindset, as I was attending the inaugural function also. So there are a lot of cultural mindsets that are also a big hindrance for people to accept this digital revolution or digital era, or to acclimatize themselves with the digital changes that are happening. Also continuing with the human factors of the things. Getting all employees acclimatized to new processes, again, one more challenge that a lot of industries are facing in this digital era. Lack of expertise to lead digitalization initiatives is also one of the most important, because we have seen a lot of companies with a lot of employee base that has been continuing with them for a longer period of time. So there is rigidity where people are a bit resistant to change, and that too shifting to digital world, it becomes really very difficult. So, and as you all know, like since we come from an IT background and IT industry, so the customer needs also keep on evolving. There are technologies that are coming across. There are things that are on daily basis changing. So upgradation also plays a very, very vital role. And to upgrade, keeping that human part also in like in the prima facie becomes very, very, very important, I guess. And that is the main challenge. The companies get themselves scared to get into this digital part of or digitalization, to be very honest. Securities are the major concerns. Like in the inaugural function, a lot of things were discussed by Uplaniji. Also, a question has been asked about Chat GPT. There is again Bing, that is Microsoft AI, which is again a bit of a concern for a lot of people nowadays, whether to opt for this digital platforms or no, because a lot of data is being stored by these AI applications. A lot of things have been stored across by these things. So these security concerns definitely come as a hindrance to a lot of companies, because yeah, I have been listening to a lot of news channels which were debating about Bing AI storing a lot of the secretive data into them, and it can be taken as a vicious threat in the coming era. So that is something which digital era or the digitalization in an industry becomes a big challenge, and that is why a lot of industries avoid going into that. So I'll relate this with how we have humanized the workplace in digital era. So the simple answer to this question is by giving human touch to every aspect of professional working. We are 100% employee-centric organization, and we go by the motto employees first. Flexibility is the keyword for post-pandemic workforce, because that is the most important thing, because post-pandemic, a lot of things have changed. And I think so, like Upender sir also mentioned, it is the time where we are moving in that 5.0 or 5.0 phase of digitalization, where a lot of things are coming on digital platforms. That is why we are having this session also on a remote medium. It is always difficult, when we talk about face-to-face interaction, it plays a very, very vital and important role. But due to and thanks to this technological medium, we are sitting at our own leisure and at our own doorsteps, and we are able to deliver whatever is in our mind, and that through with a technical and a digital medium. So which I feel is very, very important. So according to me, 5 simple steps that which we implemented as a step closer to humanize 6 degrees IT was: 1, to prioritize work-life balance; 2, review the company policies, because a lot of revamping had to be done in order to make sure that the digitalization is not hampering the overall growth of the employees as well. Invest in employees' health and wellness. That was also a very key factor or key element which we had discussed, and that is what we have implemented across. So show appreciation to the employees, because employee rewards and recognition, employee appreciation, a pat on the back goes a long way. That is what we also believe. And that is the crux of the story, because humanizing this digital, in this digital world, it's not going to be easy unless the employees, unless the human touch doesn't remain over there. And last but not least, provide professional development opportunities. I have seen a lot of times, since we are still continuing with that remote kind of a thing where we just recently shifted to hybrid mode. So yes, there is a scene where people are more, they are having more screen time as compared to the earlier days. So that had been a challenge. So we have overcome, which I'll share across in the next slide. To start with, 6 degrees IT has given option of work from home or work from anywhere for employees who are 65 kilometers away from Indore. Only employees within the radius of 65 kilometers from Indore are asked to come one day in a week, just to maintain that inter-department connect. And we are very proud to say still we continue the same policy, even when a lot of industries have shifted completely to from work from office mode. This gives an employee a sense of belonging, that they are valued and cared. See, this is an advantage that we IT people have, because we have the luxury. But yes, there are positives and negatives to all the things. So yes, we are lucky that we have this opportunity, and we are still continuing with that, because this gives us a human touch to a lot of things still in the development part. So the 7 powerful ways that we at 6D have implemented to humanize workplace in digital era are: 6D definitely believes in all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We are very staunch believers into all this, and we only don't fascinate and don't pressurize the employees, only work, 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 and no play. So we have a lot of activities that take place. So we have a fun. Initially, we had one Fun Friday activity, but post this hybrid mode, we have shifted to Fun Wednesday and Fun Friday activities. So the basic difference that has happened is, we not only the HR department is the key or the main department that needs to organize these events, but we have segregated that into various different departments leading these activities, and HR is basically the backbone, or rather the organizer. So we sit at the background of the stories, and we expect the employees to come up with various good ideas. So it is not always work that we do on these Fridays and Wednesdays, but it is more towards employee development. It could be any fun activity, be it the game, but that has to be in sync to what we are actually planning for the entire week. So it is more towards the creative part of the things. 6D is not about creating rules, but trusting one another to do their part. So that is what we really trust upon, because we believe that everybody is a vital resource to the organization's growth. So we do not make rules just as an employer-employee kind of a thing, but it's an open door policy that we follow. 6D doesn't believe at all in having power. It believes in being able to empower. Also, we do not believe in pushing your agendas, but learning from one another. So sharing of thoughts is very, very important. And that is why we feel the humanizing factor in the workplace still remains in 6D. Definitely, we are a very great place to work across, as we give human touch to every small things that we can take place. And definitely this happens because the authority flows from top to down, but we also believe in the bottom up approach, where we take feedbacks from the employees who are working in the initial internship phase also, so that, because a lot of freshness is being added, because I see a lot of students, upcoming talent of India that is listening to this talks and this HR summit. So I believe this is a place where we have made sure that we ask a lot of people from that generation who are just come into the industry with a lot of fresh vibes to give us the feedbacks. And obviously, every industry takes only those feedbacks which are in attenuation to the company goal as a whole. So as I told you, we believe firmly into people first concept. And that is the most important thing that we believe. So humanizing work in digital world at 6D, providing digital tools to work remotely is given, but in an increasingly digital world, how do you humanize a virtual workplace? Because for the past 3 years, a growing number of employees had reported feeling isolated, demotivated, and disconnected from workplace and co-workers. Because as I told you, we are still into that hybrid mode. So 80% of the employees are still working remote. They are working from their homes or whichever place they are comfortable. The only concern that we have, that you should have proper power supply and the internet connectivity. That is the only main function that is required for an IT industry. So the major thing, so we decided humanizing digital workplace will need to be built upon 3 foundations, or rather the 3 key pillars that we devised for 6 degrees. That is building a compassionate and connected workforce, because being flexible with policies also go a long way in building compassion and letting employees know that you care. By fostering a compassionate and connected work culture, organizations stand to gain from attracting, engaging, and retaining top talent, business outcomes that are more valuable than ever. So you have to have that compassionate thing going across top to down. Like, it is not something which is only for the top level and not for the bottom level. So that is why we have kept that policy common for everybody. We have compassion top to down. Self-service and digital skilling, that is very, very important that we have practice, because in today's virtual scenario, a lot of times the stress happens when a lot of people are confined only in one single room in front of their laptops or desktops, and they are not exposed to the outer world. So we emphasize, we have invested and provided tools with an intuitive environment that can be easily managed by employees and empower them to remove that roadblocks of their role. they can come up with, we have developed a small tool in our organization where they raise their tickets, in which whatever they want to upskill themselves, they can raise the points, and whenever possible, if it's be it Udemy, be it Coursera, or whatever course they want to do, or if they want to learn any new language, we definitely support that initiative, because ultimately it's going to help us in the longer run. The third factor is very, very important. Like a lot of speakers also said, Shilpa Singh also narrated the same thing. Mental health has become a big challenge because we are working remote. So leaders or managers need to lead by example. That is what we have believed, by not fixating on deliverables alone, but actually taking a break in middle of the day, or prioritizing a stay vacation, and actually turning off this email. So this might sound a bit funny, but yes, we ask employees if they are down and out, and if there is bandwidth available, if they don't have deliveries, to go on to these small breaks, by actually turning on their electronic mediums, mails, so that they refresh themselves and come back. Because that is also very, very important, which I feel is very critical in today's era of digitalization. That is how we humanize workplace, and that is how we have taken care across. So apart from that, like, how does the future of the workplace look like? Because I think so this trend is going to continue. And in my point of view, even when the world and economies have stabilized, the need to digitalize will grow as the workplace of future approaches. The blend of employees, gig workers, and robots will define a future where our digital workplace continuously evolve, learn, and innovate to become live enterprises with sentient capabilities. As machines take over mundane tasks and grows intelligent enough to learn, it is imperative that to ensure humans are empowered and remain central to our workflows. Because a responsible artificial intelligence requires humans to govern the decision-making process. It is incumbent upon us to ensure the human side of digital workplace is preserved as we transition into the new normal. So it should not be only focusing on digitalization, but it should be more towards emphasizing the human aspects of things. So final words from my side would be, humanize the workplace through flexible hours. Flexibility is the key, I think so, in today's virtual, as well as if you talk about work from office module also, flexibility of hours is, I think so, the key factor for humanizing the workplace. Humanizing the workplace through location. We have the benefits or luxuries, as a lot of industries complain that IT has that benefits. A lot of industries like manufacturing, pharma, these industries do not have that. But since we have that option where people can sit across on any geographical location and they can do their working, so that is one thing that we have maintained, and that is how it's actually helping in humanizing the workplace, because people have got that liberty and luxury to be close with their families and to take care of various things accordingly. Humanizing the workplace through digital empowerment. It is very, very important, as I told, and I have already given the examples of the same. Becoming more human towards every professional approach. I think so. We should think how I would react myself before stimulating any policy. So unless I'm put forward, or rather if I'm not given that weightage where I do not treat myself first, and if I don't devise policy looking myself into the picture, I think so the entire picture or the entire story of the organization would not be in alignment to what they are planning. So it has to be humans first. Yes, humanizing the workplace requires a lot of time and effort, but the return on investment can be measured in a happier, more engaged, and more productive workforce, because it's a long process. It's not going to be overnight where we can see miracles happening. But yes, if the vision is big, if the management is supportive, I think so humanizing workplace is not going to be very challenging and difficult in this digital era, is what I feel. So this is it from my side. If you have any questions, if you want, ask me right across, because we have a Q&A round, as Namit sir told. But if you have anything that you feel that is not needed to be shared over here, I have my email address also mentioned, where you can put in across whatever comes across to your mind, not necessarily relating to this presentation, but if you have any thoughts, any inputs that you want to add on, I'll be more than happy to share my thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Shilpa ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes. Can we request now our next speaker, Miss Monica Sharma?
Yeah, hello everyone. Good afternoon, and especially thanks to the all Vaishnav Vidyapeeth College. So this is a very good event to understand and to know about this particular very good topic. So as our topic is humanizing the workplace in the digital era, I'm audible. I'm audible to you all.
Yeah, you are audible,
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, got it. So let's begin. Um, Okay. So I hear many people complains that people are so busy getting the work done that their workplace has lost the human essence. So when people work behind closed doors, when they keep themselves, when they hardly have time to connect.
Rupa madam, please turn off your mic. Dr. Shinde, please, yeah, thank you. Please.
Yeah. So it becomes a mechanized workplace. For a workplace to thrive, so it must be humanized because a successful organization is an organism whose parts all are connected. So now really wanted to talk 10 powerful ways to humanize your workplace. Yeah. So the workplace isn't it just a place for a work, but a place to do something meaningful. So if I'm talking about the humanize the workplace, then it should be a very in terms of the humanization. Like when you will work with the team, with the colleagues, with some leaders, with some your RAs, so it should be very interactive, it should be very explosively. So in that terms, if you have any questions, any query, then you can ask them. Yeah, so it should be a meaningful, your day will be the meaningful. And your workplace isn't it just a place for work, but a place to build connections. So if I'm talking about the digitalization, and if we are working from the home, then this particular thing like the connection would be missing. Because if you're not at your office, if you're not at your premises, then you're working from the closed doors, then this is very very tough task to connect with the peoples. And to require connections, most humans don't thrive in isolation. So humanizing a company, a team, or a culture means encouraging employees to be compassionate and supportive and considerate towards one another. So working one relationships as well getting stuff done. So the next one, the workplace isn't it about creating rules, but trusting one per another to the their part. So sometimes, as the students also, when you got some kind of project, some kind of work, so you also need your friends' help. You also need some guidance from your teachers, from your professors. So in terms of this thing, also you have that trust. Okay, if you are somehow you are just limited from the resources, just limited from your skills, then at that time you can take help from your friend, from your colleague. So this is the main thing. 1 minute. Yeah. So if I'm talking about the workplace, isn't it about having power, but being able to empower? Unfortunately, in many workplaces, people mistakenly think that the more power they have, the more influential they will be. So, but the most admired leaders know that leadership isn't it about power. Power cultures, companies, teams, and people, leaders who empower others have the healthiest cultures and the most successful workplaces. Next point is the workplace isn't it a place for holding pointless meetings, but the creating opportunities to build community. So basically, in every workplace, we have a lots of meetings. Each and every day, we have a review meetings. We have a none numbers of meetings. Yeah. So on that basis, it is not only about the meeting. It is the meet with the people, with the community, basically. And the sixth point is the workplace isn't it just about you, but about acknowledging others to their contributions. It is not compulsion that your employer will praise you, then your employer will give you incentives, then your employer will give you some kind of recognition. Sometimes your friends, your colleagues also can provide you a very good motivation to do work, a very good and very healthy competition, basically. The workplace isn't it about taking proprietorship, but serving others. So at the end of the day, the people who are the most influential are those who serves others. So make it your business to ask those around you if there's anything you can do to help. This is also the same point. If you will give help, then you will definitely take the help. So we all are not the perfect ones, yeah. And sometimes we also need help of the each or every person, and the part of this work from home facilities, it is totally missing. Yeah, so the workplace isn't it for working within the status quo, but a place to challenge yourself out of your comfort zone. So, in workplace, believe me, guys, when sometimes you have a very emergency task, you have an immediate task. As an HR, I can share one thing to you. Like it from home, you can Google out everything. You can have that option. Okay, you can take the things from the Google. You can take things from the phone call with the others or something. But when you have an emergency task and you are sitting with the peoples, then at the same time you will definitely feel some kind of competition. You will definitely feel okay, you are not in your comfortable zone. You need to do work hard, and at that day you will perform as per your skills. So this is the main thing. So the workplace isn't it about pushing your agenda, but learning from others. So in all the my points, one thing is common, that is like helping each other, trusting each other, exposure, yeah, and connection, community, culture. So the workplace isn't it about the getting by, but bringing value to everything you do. People don't get paid for an hour of their time, but for the value. Basically, if your task, if your skills are not that much good, you will not provide a good work to your employer. And if the task is for 10 hours and you will done it on 2 hours, definitely you will be valued. Yeah. So uh, this is the journey from survive to thrive. The future of work in a post-pandemic world. The COVID-19 pandemic has been talked about as a time machine to the future. This peak moment of accelerated change has created an imperative to consider the choices we will face when the concentrates of the pandemic are removed. Where do we want to go, how quickly, and how will we get there? So while every organization will face its own set of challenges and opportunities to accelerate forward, the destination is clear: to humanize the future of work. Yeah. So now this all the era, this all the time of pandemic, we all survive. We all had a lots of mental trauma also, because we lost some our relatives, we lost our some friends. So at that time work from home was a awesome trick to do, to survive in this world, to survive our business. So that time that was awesome thought. But right now, as per the HR head, as per the human resource person, I can very good in a human psychology also. So I can see after this 2 years, people are losing their what I can say. People are losing their mind to develop the new things. They are rigid on their own skills. So this is the main problem in this past 2 years. You just stopped your skilling. You just lost your brain version. Yeah. So this is the thing. Now a new era in work. Yeah. So a new era in work by shifting the way we think about work, focusing on re-architecting work as a flow and using a technology to elevate human capabilities. We can unleash human potential and create a work environment where individuals and teams are empowered with the tools, technologies, and culture to contribute their full potential. This is the opportunity. So for this, we have a in this new era, we need to do three things: re-architect work, unleashes the workforce, adapt the workplaces. Yeah. So these three keys to humanizing the future of work. What is the re-architect work? This is the time to define new future work, aspirations and outcomes, and to focus on the art of possible. for what we can achieve using technology to enable and evaluate human capabilities. So basically, we need to re-architect our work, because as we are working from home, and now in IT, particularly in the IT sector, it is now maybe sometimes it hybrids, sometimes it's totally work from office, sometimes it's totally work from home. So in these things, we need to re-architect our work. Yeah, so it would be a very key point to humanizing the future of work. Unleashes the workforce, we must challenge how we think about the workforce and use technology to help identify and unleashes human potential within and beyond the organization. So basically, if I have very good potential in some other things also, if I'm having a very good experience in other things also, and my profile is something like different, so at the time of premises, my employer can get to know, okay, I have this kind of very good exposure, very good experience in other fields also. So that would be a very good point from my end also, and from the company's end. Yeah, and adapt the workplace. Now, this is the very crucial point. As everywhere I saw in the every interview, I'm listening these things. I need work from home. So in this work from home thing, definitely you will not get that environment, you will not get that workplace where you can work. So in this, we cannot underestimate the organizational and cultural shifts that are demanded in the expanded work environment, which includes the ecosystem of physical and virtual workplaces, and the expansions around how to collaborate, engage, and relate to each other. So there is a no waiting for a better time. The time is starts. Humanizing the future of work is now. Okay. So as a freshers, because so many speakers and your professors, each and everybody can give you the guidance, the bookish knowledge, the experience knowledge, each and everything. But definitely, guys, as an human resource head, as in person, I can share with you one suggestion also, because you all are a freshers. Yeah, you all are a beginners of your career. So in this term, please, I'm requesting, please go and work with the premises, work from the premises. Reason behind, because you are a new with this field. Yeah, you don't have that exposure, you don't have that knowledge, you don't have that environment to and culture to celebrate the things. Yeah, to employment engagement activities, some kind of fun activities, knowledge sharing activities. So in IT sector particularly, I'm as per my experience, I saw so many people, those are shifting from the manufacturing to the IT sector. Why? Reason behind, we have a 5 days working. Yeah, this is a very main and very crucial point. Yeah, as every IT sector now, in other countries they are starting the 4 days working, but we can't do this, because in this Indian companies we have a 5 days working only. So people are thinking like we are a very flexible kind of sector, we are a very what I can say that the sector who is very enjoying their work or something. No. So believe me, the IT sector gives you a lots of work, a lots of deadlines, so many things are there. So on that basis, I really wanted everybody, from the freshers and from the beginners, go explore things. Yeah, and whenever you go with the team, whenever you go with the leaders, whenever you go with the some kind of to connect with the employers, you will get a very good exposure. My journey was started from the Pratibha Syntax. It is in Prithampur. Yeah, and from there I was an intern, but after my 1 or 2 months internship, they they offered me a job in a HR department, because they saw me a very sincere, very good in terms of intern. So my journey, I'm having a 10 years of experience in this HR field, and I was never ever forget that journey of my life, because that was my first job, that was my internship from there. So the great exposure, the great leaders, everything will be started from your first journey. So guys, be passionate, be bold. Yeah, be energized in your terms, and explore cities, explore new cities, explore work. Yeah, and go work from home, not go work from office, not work from home thing. Yeah, you can get it, but when you get exposure, when you get experience, then you can go for the work from home facility. I can share with you one thing also. Look, I'm having 2 years old baby boy, and I choose work from office thing. Why? Because I know right now I can't work from home. Reason behind, because my son knows that I'm at home and I can't do work, because he will definitely come time to time to ask me something, to like tell me something. So on that basis, I choose work from office. Reason behind, I am so much focused on my work. I'm serious about my work. So on that basis, that is a very good choice. Now I'm thinking it is a very good choice from my end. So this is the thing. I just ended my topic over here. Yeah. So great time with you guys. This is a very good session, a very good exposure from the each and every person. So I'm really thanking everyone. And a special thanks to Mr. Gaurav, Dr. Gaurav Srivastava, who invited me for this particular session. So thank you guys. Jai Hind.
We can have some questions from the students.
Yeah, please.
I cannot see. It's not in the question, Anu. So anyway, now I invite Dr. Namit Gupta for his concluding remarks.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon to all the speakers today, and good afternoon to all the present. Today we had a wonderful session. The topic is very apt, that is humanizing workplace in the digital era. And as Dr. Dhar also talked during the inaugural session, that Industry 5.0 talks about this factor only, that with automation, with complete digitalization and complete digitization, what is the, had first speaker today, Ms. Shilpi Singh from Piramal Group. She talked about the transformation of a person from stressed life to happy life. She emphasized about the side effects of digital era. The basic points which she mentioned was that what should be the methods which should be adopted by the industries is acknowledging the people you are working with, remembering that there is a person first and working person second. Stay connected was one of the very important point which was stated by her. Engagement with the employees, making digital workplaces more personal by involving them with certain collaborative activities like fun games, rewarding them, best performer of the month, best employee of the month, such type of activities, can keep more engagement, can get more engagement from the employee side. And to create a barrier-free workplace for differently abled people was also emphasized by her. So these were the major points which were shared by her. As a second speaker, we had HR head from 6 Degrees IT Indore. He talked about employers who that employers should feel like a human being first and not as an object. Employees should be taken as a human being first, not as an object. He actually started his discussion with a question that what is human? He gave us an insight about the main challenges which companies are facing in today's digital era, such as understanding the need to change culture, mindset, acclimatization problems which the workforce is facing now, from digital era, that is the work from home era, to now the office era. He also shared with us that how his company is still working with work from home or work from anywhere model, with a one-day connect between every week between all the colleagues. That was of a different model which was shared by him. And he expressed that employee first should be the key mantra for today's new workplaces. He shared with us with different initiatives which are taken by his organizations to empower the employees. And the major parameters or the points which he talked about are how to build a compassionate and connected workforce, how to, skill them digitally as well as personally, and how to work for the mental health of the employees of any workplace. So wonderful session. Then third one is Monica Sharma with us. She emphasized on making a better connect between the employees so that they can develop trust and bond between them and can also become considerate towards their colleagues. She talked about empowering the employees, which is a very important strategy nowadays in today's digital or a hybrid workplaces, we can call it, and acknowledging others. Very important. Help others so that you can get help whenever required, and learning while working and meeting people. These were 2-3 specific mantras which were shared with us by Monica. And all in all, wonderful session, 3 wonderful speakers. And thank you very much. That is it from my side. Over to you, ma'am.
Ma'am, please unmute.
Shilpa, over to you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. As John F. Kennedy said, we must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. Now, I would like to express my gratitude to all the resource persons, Ms. Shilpi Singh, Mr. Gautam Tungare, and Ms. Monica Sharma, the session chair of the session, Dr. Santosh Dhar, and co-session chair, Dr. Namit Gupta, for sparing valuable time from their busy schedule. I extend my regards for their kind presence and inspiring addresses. Thank you all. A good event never ends. It takes only a pause and keeps us waiting for the next. That concludes a great knowledgeable plenary session. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you all.
Thank
Over
you.
to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Over to you, Sheetal ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Our next session is from 2:30. So we will meet at 2:30 here for panel discussion 2.